Joining us now in our Ottawa studio to talk more about today's summit is the president of the Metis National Council. Good afternoon, President Chartier, and thank you for joining us today. President, thanks for taking the time to join us here today. Can you tell us a bit about the Accord and what does it mean for the Metis?
Yeah, well, today we did sign the Canada-Metis Nation Accord. We've been negotiating this for about a year. So basically it sets out the process, it sets out the priority agenda items that we'll be working on over this year, and identifies priority items for future years. So we have great hope that we will accomplish a large measure of the priorities that are in place for this current year.
What were some of the priorities for the Metis that were discussed?
Well, essentially we're looking at employment and training, we're looking at housing, we're looking at health, and we're looking at fiscal relations. So those are the main topics for this year.
Obviously some big priorities there. How do you feel coming out of the meeting today?
Well, what was important and of significance to us is that our leadership, the five presidents of our governing members, and of course myself as national leader, we were able to sit with the Prime Minister, have a good dialogue. He had 5-6 cabinet ministers there with him, and I believe we're on the same page that the recognition of the Metis Nation is there. There is sort of the desire on both sides to seek accommodations of the Metis Nation within Canada, to look at Section 35 rights reconciliation, to sit down together and review programs and services that the federal government has for Indigenous peoples, which the Metis are not a part of, and see can we or should we be part of these. So essentially we're going to be sitting in a very intensive process this year and next, of course, until the next federal election, to hammer out some of these details. And the ministers that were there were also very positive, saying that they are prepared to move forward with us, for example, with a new a new employment and training accord under the current assets program, whatever the name is going to be. So they're prepared to look at a Metis Nation specific process agreement. They're also prepared, according to Minister Duclos, to look at a Metis Nation housing strategy. So, I think we are going to come out of this with, some positive developments with respect to budget 2018. As most people know, we were quite disappointed in budget 17. We had high expectations, and some of our expectations were met, others weren't. But we now have the process to move forward and to engage, which we didn't have leading up to budget 2017. So we will know what progress we're making, if any, in budget 2018, and see whether this process actually is going to result in meaningful developments for our people, where there will be transfer payments to our governments to provide programs and services to our respective citizens.
President, we'll have to leave it there. Thanks so much for taking the time to bring us up to date on this.
Okay, you're very welcome. Thank you.
Thanks.